the outlook for the city is not very good. And the reason for that is that whatever happens on the current negotiations, the city will lose the current access they have to the European financial market. Irrespective of whether there is a deal or not, or of the content of that deal, the United Kingdom will leave the single market of the European Union with all its web of rules and regulations that are the real issue for finance. The financial sector doesn't care too much about tariffs and the kind of things that get negotiated right now between the UK and the EU. There is no interest in what's happening about fish. But what is important is the rules and regulations that happen to financial transactions and financial services. And from that perspective, the UK will, no matter what, get out of the single market by January 1st, become what is called a third country, basically become an offshore financial center for the rest of the EU, whereby currently it's a non-shore financial center. So there is business to be made offshore, of course. That doesn't mean that all the business of the city is threatened, but the mix of synergies between being a non-shore center for the EU and a very vibrant offshore market for the world is going to be affected, and probably not positively.
Indeed, it's going to be interesting to see how the chips settle there with the City of London. And just as we were bringing you in, we talked through some of the latest economic data we've had out of the UK with that record rise in third quarter GDP. But as I mentioned, not quite making up the losses in Q2. And certainly we're looking at a shrinking in Q4. Just how bad could things get heading into the first half of next year, unfortunately, as a result of the lockdowns that are probably going to transpire from here onwards?
Well, maybe that's setting a low bar, but one thing is reassuring is that there is very little likelihood of financial instability at the time of Brexit and in the course of the next few weeks, even assuming the worst scenario of no deal in the negotiation between the UK and the EU. So things will be under control if you think in terms of financial turmoil, financial disorders. There might be disorder at the border with the logistics, with transportation, but not almost certainly not in the financial system. But indeed, there could be a perception that the UK is becoming a less attractive place for business because it has less access to the EU market, but also for reasons which are about the political dynamics in the UK. For example, will the UK be as welcoming to skilled immigrants and other immigrants as it has been in the past? The UK government says yes, but when you look at the political dynamics in the UK, it's far from obvious. There's certainly less openness to European immigrants, but even for immigrants from other parts of the world, it's not clear that they are as welcome as they used to be. And that has been a prime ingredient in the success of the City of London and more generally of the UK economy. So there are many uncertainties which I think are primarily political, even leaving aside, of course, all the uncertainty which is driven by the virus and the health situation.